ask for the capital gains yield. So the capital gains yield is going to be, if this is the price that we pay in time 0, what price will we pay in time 1? And if you include the dividend in that, then what is the yield that you would get? And so I think the easiest way to do this is just going to be to calculate a price in the next time period. So let's do that times 1 plus the growth rate. So this would be our dividend in time 2, which means that the price in time 2 is going to be that over R minus G. Let's do capital gains rate. The price T equals 0, the price T equals 1, the dividend that we got. Okay, so for this one, that's the price that we would pay in T equals 0. This is what we would sell it for, and this is the dividend that we would get. All right, let's do it again here. 1 plus the growth rate. There's not going to be a change in dividend. So this divided by R minus G gives us the exact same price, which should make sense because there's no change in the price over time. And the dividend is going to be $3.25. All right, let's do stock Y times 1 plus G. Notice the dividend gets smaller, so the price here is going to be R minus G. So again, the price, it should make sense to us. The dividend is getting smaller, the price is getting smaller. Here's that. Oh, capital gains shouldn't take into account dividend. We don't actually need that. All right, so the last one, we are going to have, if we sell it in year 1, the value of this is going to be the sum of the cash flows. And so you would get the 423. Actually, it should be, so year 2, the value of the stock is $90.23. And so you should just divide that by 1 plus R, in order to get that price. We'll check that in a second. All right, so the dividend yield is, or the capital gains yield is going to be that minus that divided by your current price. And let me put that in percent terms. 7.50 minus 0.5, this should all make sense because this is the rate at which the dividend is growing. And this is some average between 8% and 0.3%. And notice it's closer to 8% because the 0.3 only happens for 1 year after we sell it. Okay, so let's make sure that we got it. 7.5 and 9.12. Yep, we got that right. And let's add a little bit of commentary. Discuss the relationship between the various returns that you find for each of these stocks. Okay, so these make sense. I would think. This especially makes sense because the dividend is growing at a certain rate, and if the dividend is growing at that rate, then the stock price should grow at that rate as well because the stock price is the present value of the dividends. Stock Z is a little bit of a weird kink in the plan because we only have a 30% growth rate in the first year and then 8% all thereafter. And so this capital gains rate of 9.12 is a kind of an average between the two of those. Let me see if there's anything else that I want to mention. The other thing that I guess I would mention here is that stock Z, the dividend yield is really, really low. But part of that is because we expect a lot of growth in these years. And so this price takes into account the growth of those dividends. And that's what makes this dividend yield so low, is that the price is kind of high because it accounts for the future growth of 30%. I think that's all I have on this question.